Tommy Davis.
I haven't heard that. Oh my God, you know about that, man?
And that's Pebble. And Bun, he came one night on a mic. Tommy Davis. And that. Tommy
Thommy Davis Show, only on Power 410. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend to tell another friend. Make sure that you listen to Power 410 from 7 to 9:30 every Monday, because only the Power 410 radio show actually has the Thommy Davis Is there anything special that you want to talk about? We can set you up. So you're on contact and unquantified, right? You're on both contact and unquantified. And you have Monday and Saturday. You're 8 to 3.
This Friday, DSL, 83 pounds this Friday.
Okay, so I'm
Jim, you here?
Yeah, I'm literally parking out in front of this building that's literally around the block.
Really? That's why it's short. Alright, you get out of the car right now?
Let me go get him.
You're gonna be coming in the front.
Okay. Alright.
Delete. Unfollow.
Right now.
Removed. It's time to go. You fucking with my flow. No more. Let's go.
Yo, what are you doing? Copy a record for the show.
I don't know about all that.
Tommy, why didn't you send him the dang on
I just want to that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bug you for the face over.
why didn't you send him the thing?
And he's going to be.
And he ain't asking for it.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. I said I was going to ask you guys for it, but I saw you get. We're good. I'll bug you.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to kill you guys' ears.
Go that way.
Are you live?
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
All right.
I tell my little brother. All right, go ahead.
And welcome back. Thank you for that musical break.
Give me turn down the microphone.
Okay. Which one?
Okay, now you go.
Which one?
I turned it down.
Okay, I can still hear it. And
Test.
hey.
Oh yeah.
And we're back.
We are back.
Thank you again for tuning into the Thommy Davis Show, only on Power 410 Radio. That's right, only on Power 410 Radio. Download the app. Download the app. Yeah, look, this isn't the first or second time I got fired, but you know, we're fired.
Hey, my co-host, Miss Tracy Stevens, is here. Shady McGrady.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got a special guest. We got to get him in here now.
Okay. So without further ado, our very special guest is DJ Spen.
So he's in the green room.
Yeah.
So
we're going to bring him in from the green room. You know what I'm saying?
So this is gonna be an interesting show, Tracy. This is gonna be interesting.
Pretty much. Quantized all over the place and unquantized. Could you tell us a little bit about the music that you played? Is it out now?
Yeah, most of them are out now. That fit the last record that I cut off was Spen's record.
Really?
The Fifth of Beethoven. So
No.
Just say
are
no.
you saying no?
You don't want to? We have to get them. We have to pump them up. Wait a minute, how do you need theme music?
You don't have a chair or nothing.
You left the chair out there.
Make sure that she don't mess with this guitar.
You leave the door open.
You can leave the door open. It's no problem.
There's no music playing.
There's no music playing.
This show,
Everything's cool.
If you're new
Yeah.
to it, it's not all about music. It's about community. It's about arts. It's about everything each week.
Yeah, so this week we are featuring not only an artist, not only a DJ and producer, not only someone who created record labels, not only a legend in the game, not only the hip-hop master, not only
An avid cyclist.
exactly, we introduce to you DJ Spen.
Yeah. Can you hear?
Mm-hmm.
That's
All right, you gotta talk into the mic.
Yeah.
You should know this.
yeah, you already know.
You act like you can't hear me from right here.
Oh yeah, but hey,
Yeah,
we can.
I know how, but you know what? Don't
It's
get me
just-
going.
it's just me.
You on this show.
It's just me that gotta get up on the mic. I'm
Yeah,
just
Tracy
saying.
got me way up on the mic.
So what I'm gonna do is keep the shade to a minimal. So yeah.
No, she not.
I believe it when I see it.
So my man with the plan, DJ Spen, in the house, yo. Thank you for coming in, man.
You're welcome.
Where'd you just fly from?
Laurel.
The truth ain't. He just came from Southport Weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's in England.
Yeah.
He's the busiest man in the, putting Baltimore on the map, no matter where he go around the world, taking the music with him. So, hey, the mic is yours.
What do you want me to talk about?
Let's talk about when we met.
First of all, say what?
Let's talk about when we met. They want to know how come being you, after 45 years, And if you know you violate the blackmail contract, I'm gonna let them know.
What is the blackmail contract?
It's why you been with me for 45 years.
Gosh.
Okay, you know what? Yeah,
How did I meet him?
yeah.
Literally, I was coming. I think I first met you because you worked at
Metro Stereo.
No. Before Metro, you
Music
worked at
Liberated.
Music Liberated in Montgomery.
Yeah.
How come we can't hear Jeffrey?
Because Jeffrey's a ghost right now. We have to introduce him.
Yeah,
Right, because he's saying something.
Jeffrey is non-existent right now. Shh.
I think I met you when I was sort of coming home from school once. And Metro Stereo opened in when? What year?
Don't get me going with that. You know how many record stores I worked in?
Yeah, but it was. I think I had just started sort of driving or something, and then what I would do is I would come home from school and go right to the record store. And before Metro was born, you were at Music Liberated first.
Yeah.
Then when Metro was born, I mean, that's when I kind of really got to know you more so. But that's how we met. It was simple as that.
And that was 40 years ago.
That's why I asked you what year, because then you put 40. Oh, that was 40 years ago. At least if you say the year, it doesn't sound bad.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do all that. But I know. Remember Metro. Look, I'm in Metro Stereo. Now, Metro Stereo, for those of you that's not in America, because we got a global show. Those of you not in America, is a record store, like the old kind, one of the first record stores that had a DJ could play the records right off the wall. So occasionally, somebody would say, "You need to let somebody else play." And one day I said, they were talking about this guy named Spen. Yo, he bad. So I
But you act like you didn't know who I was.
I knew he was, but I didn't know you was bad. I thought you was a Catholic boy on lunch break.
Okay.
Look who's throwing the shade down. I'm just...
You know,
it's his show. So he does
no. If y'all don't know, Spen is the most humblest, down to earth guy. So he's quiet. So unprepared, he came up behind the counter and played. And he did the baddest 360s ever. So the store was packed. Mm-hmm. So you was back spinning records you didn't even know. I didn't touch it.
You didn't touch it?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely him.
Yeah.
Just this mic right here.
Yeah.
So he said, "Oh, I want to do it again." Because first he had to, come on. He's like, nah. That's just Spen. So the next week he said, "I'm gonna bring my records." Why he do that? He came back the next week with the sing, drummers, beats, rock the bells. And I told every DJ in between, I said, y'all don't know how to do this right. I said, when you do this, you got to be precision. I said, I'm good at it. I'm good. And that was Vicious B. There was a whole bunch of other ones. I was like, yo, watch when he come in here. This guy came in here and killed it. I mean, killed it. You know how, no disrespect if you don't practice. You could tell this guy practiced a lot. Because when he hit Rock the Bells, it was rock the bells, 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 rock the bells, bells. Not no rock the.
Right.
It's a big difference. So it was a DJ kind of store. So when he got up and did that, he had major problems. No, but I already heard that you was busting up because Vicious and them, they would say, he all right.
Didn't the jealousy set in, huh?
Yeah. But, I was used to that. This is the same store that Miss Tony came in one day, and they was coming from Douglas. And they was teasing him. I said, hey, don't take that. I gave him the microphone. I said, go ahead. Because he would say stuff to me in my ear. Y'all don't want this. And I said, Tony, here's the mic. He turned my thumb out. And from that day on, he was never afraid. Afraid. He just ripped them to pieces. So Metro was that kind of store.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the birthplace of a lot of Baltimore culture musically. From street level. That you would think that out of that little teeny store in something mall that so many things wouldn't have
It was
started, but many things started
many
right there.
So you want to continue? Have the next things you want to go?
I don't know. You take it.
You got. I got you.
You have to steer this conversation because I don't know.
So we had a blizzard in Baltimore, and these guys come back in with a cassette, and they say, "Yo, we did one of them house records. This house was brand new. I mean, Metro broke house from the beginning, like the same time with Chicago. So they came in with this record on the tape, and they was giggling and laughing like, "Yeah, we made a house record." Now, these guys,
because it was a joke. We were joking. We didn't think. I know.
And that's all.
We did not think. Because first of all, what y'all really don't know that you kind of have here is who I want to say is probably the bedrock of like doing Latin Rascals, and it's
you got to introduce him. You got to introduce him.
Yeah, this guy Geoffrey C that I'm sitting beside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There were a couple of things on WEBB. One was Tony Lobin, who I didn't even know did this. Right?
Yeah.
The WEBB was playing a mix of Genius of Love, right? And Tony was doing things with Genius of Love that I was like, how in the world is he doing this stuff?
I never knew that.
Didn't know it was Tony Lobin until, I'm a full-fledged adult. I was like, you did not do that. He's like, I sure did. He said he did it at Bryce's.
On the decks?
On his decks.
Big shout out to Tony
mix. Yeah, the 6-minute mix of Genius of Love. So there was that. Then there was the AP crew that did
Smurf Super Mix.
The Magic Wand and Smurf Super Mix. Yep. And then which one did you do?
Oh, I did a Peter Piper mix.
Right.
I also did the Pump It Up mix.
Right. So right. That was, man. I'm saying these guys were doing with like legitimate tape what we were doing with a pause button. So they were like our predecessors. And all we were trying to do on the pause button deck was what we heard them dudes doing from jump. And that sort of led into the learning how to cut and scratch, because then it was like, okay, well, you can't do this stuff live. So I guess what it was trying to emulate as much as possible what we were doing with the pause mixes and those kind of things, and seeing what would come out of it in the live format.
I remember them days. I mean, like the Apple mixes and stuff like that.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff. Wait a minute, first, and formal introduction. Geoffrey C. Say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Okay, now say my name is Geoffrey C.
My name is Geoffrey C. I am glad to be here. I'm unofficially here. I've decided to invite myself and crash this party.
And you're welcome. You're welcome to do that. You can do that.
Glad to be
you
here.
can do that, Jeff. Jeff has been with me and Spen, and we'll go in more detail to that. But so what's ironic about this story, and we all three are connected in this story. Big time.
Yeah.
So this record that they brought in was called Get the Hold. And I said, look, it was just really fun.
Do we really have to talk about this record? Why not?
Okay. And,
why?
And now we don't have no hair. We're old. Okay. Skip it. All right. No, we got to tell this. This is, So this record, and I said, bring it back and do this kind of arrangement. And they brought it. I said, if you bring it back, I'll press it. And back then, nobody was pressing records. So it's like, you know what? I'll press it. I was aware of acetate because I was in the Zanzibar with Tony Humphreys and stuff. And, acetate was the way to do it. So they came back, and they held me to my word, and I put the record out. I put the record out, just about 300 copies. And in Metro Stereo, when the record came out, well, it took like maybe a month, 2 months for it to come out. So by the time I had the acetate, and I would just cover the label and just play it to see if people would buy this record after it came in, and everybody wanted it. And so therefore, when it came in, it was gone like in a week. So I shipped some to Chicago, and so here's the irony. At the same time, he in a group called the Newmarks, and you took that.
Yeah, and honestly, like we were under a contract with Randy Dennis, and we weren't supposed to be doing anything without his knowledge. Which is why I was saying,
That's my phone.
Yeah, that's
children. So anyway, we were just in the basement, man, and we were just creating stuff, and we decided that we want to do our version of a house record, and it really, realistically, seriously, we were like joking, like, he's probably not gonna like this, but we'll see. So I literally took it to him one day after school, and he was like, "Dude, what is this?" And I was like, "You're kidding, right? You're joking."
It was banging. Are you kidding? This is incredible.
So, we took it back and we refined it, and of course, Thommy being Thommy, no, I don't like that. Do it again. No, this ain't
I'm
right.
Still that
fix
way today.
That. No, you gotta fix that. That's not right. Why did you do that? That's the best part. Okay, so fine. So we did all of this stuff. I still didn't think it was going to be anything that came out of it. And one day I came home from school and I saw this thing on Tom Mix Records, and it hit the hole. And I mean, we even fussed about the title, how we should label it, what the group was called.
See, I'm not touching that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ghost in the machine for sure.
yeah.
Doesn't like Tracy.
Well, I can defend that.
Wait a minute. How did it not like me?
It was Jeff.
It was me.
No, it's somebody. Nobody touching it.
I'm not touching anything.
All right.
It's all good.
If you hear the little clicks and stuff, it's a ghost in machine in whatever.
Yeah, it's on yours.
Hit mine?
Yeah.
It's still
Do it
going?
again. Wait a minute.
Yeah, who knows?
It's I can hear it
But
clear, so y'all can hear it clear.
It's good.
As long as nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
If y'all can hear us in Radio Lane, it's all good.
And Tracy, give them the number so if they want to call in and ask questions.
Okay, so again, you're listening to the Thommy Davis Show on Power 410 Radio. Go to the website and download the app. If you would like to contact us, like call in, ask questions, please keep it to a minimum because, we don't want no long questions. But anyway, you get 2 to 3 minutes for a question, so please get it together. The number is 410-591-6124. Again, that's 410-591-6124. Now back to the interview.
Yeah, so wait a minute. So this record came out, and I had no idea. It was the first record I ever put out, and the first thing that I did it because I promised them. They said, "Hey, I'd go back and do it again." This was hard. This record was dirty and it was hard. And they said, "Well, we don't have the tracks." I said, "Forget it. I'm gonna put it out from the cassette." And I took the cassette from them and put it out, and that record sold out immediately. It had an Odell thump to it, and from Baltimore we have a club called Odell's that had a vibe, and it had it. I don't know how these guys knew it, but they kind of had it, and it sold out. I think I pressed it 3 times, and then England called and said, "Hey, would you represent the American team for this new thing called house?" And so I was like, all right. So I went to them at the time. That's mine. At the time, they said, well, we can't really do that. They didn't think it was going to blow up. Like at the time, they did this record called Girl, It's True. That blew up, Milli Vanilli and everything. She says, well, we can. They said, you can't put our name on it. So I just put Thomas Davis on it. And if you had the record, you could see them niggas and credits. But
what was the name of the group?
Them niggas, don't do it. You said. Now wait a minute.
You said it, not me.
Wait.
You said it, not me.
Wait.
I'm just saying.
But we gotta hear the spelling. We gotta hear the spelling because that makes a difference.
DEMNIGGAZ. Them niggas. Because when I had the acetate, And the store we packed up, covered the record up, and put it on. They said, "Yo, when them niggas?" They would say, "When them niggas records coming out?" And that's how they would say it. It's like, when are them niggas records coming out?
So the AG made it pop.
It made it okay. Just like that's
that's what I'm saying. I want
Soften the blow just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Hey, the original name is Get the Hoe. All right. I said,
H-O.
I am
Now,
not
let's
putting a record out.
Okay, let's escalate. Hold on. Let's ask a lady which one makes we have a lady.
Yeah. She's kind of.
Would you rather have a blush kind of, right? And that's why she's laughing. It's cool. Right? So would you have rather, I don't even know what I'm saying. Would you had been more partial to a record called Get the Hoe, H-O, or a record called Get the Hole, H-O-L-E?
Well, both of them are suggestive. I'm just saying.
They are.
But if you put the H-O, I can see ho, say ho.
No.
But
No.
Yes.
This record had Rudy Ray Moore on it. Holler, come on, give me some, guys.
If you would have put the E on there, you could have said garden. Get the garden.
Oh no! That's the wrong person. Yeah, that's the wrong person.
You can say ho.
Yeah, I forgot who you were talking to.
So,
all right.
Ironically, this record got. I got a letter from Chicago saying that we can't. I don't know why it's doing that. I ain't touch it.
Wait a
It's
minute,
not
hold
helping. It might not be just this one.
On the break, we'll change the chord up.
I think it is yours because I don't hear it in anybody else's. See, when I turn yours, wait a minute, hold up. When I turn yours, wait a minute, hold up.
Oh.
Yeah, when I turned yours down, see, it's gone away.
I think it's
It
better.
went away.
Yeah, it's better.
So I got I'm not going to name the black university, but they saw the record in Chicago stores and they said, we don't like this disrespect and, the idea of, but it's niggas. Then I responded. They said, no, it's just, we don't like the way that y'all taking that word that we should not be using it at all. I said, it's a record. I'm texting them. It's a record. They went and had the record removed from the store in Chicago. Because they had a section.
Mm-hmm.
And on the section it said, them niggas.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, we did other records. We did a record called FASG. We did a remix with Spen.
That's even worse.
If you got children in the room, now is the time for them to leave.
This is internet radio, right?
Yes, it is.
But they might be watching on the TV or, it's just. But FASG came out and it was on also a remix of Get the Hole where I said, yo, he said, so he came in with a remix and he was killing drummers beat on it. I said, yo, put that in the middle of it. So if you have this remix of Get the Hole with Spen live killing on it.
I think I have it.
Oh yeah, it's pink.
That means that I need to read your
So and so they could. So the people around the world could hear somebody from Baltimore live crushing it on the 360s. On a quarter revolution.
There you go.
And it still had Rudy in it. Now Rudy is a popular record in Baltimore because we've had it for years. I mean, if I put it on now, we all could probably recite it. That's how much it's in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So they did all this.
Saying something about this city.
I was in a record studio, so I could find original Rudy Ray Moore's. I did. Just like Doodoo Brown and all the other stuff, I just found them. Mm-hmm. So then, in this story, I'm going to keep going to introduce this guy that was our version of a Latin rascal. So we did this young girl, nobody knew her. She was a young girl, and she did a record, and we did a record with her, and we said, hey, you know what? I can't remember how we got to Philadelphia, Spen. Her name was Alternate Day.
Excuse me, I think y'all drove.
No, I mean how the contract came out. It was a record called Do It Good.
Oh yeah. So
You're
we
doing
had
good.
done. No, we were transitioning from a 5-man group into a 3-man group as the New Ones, right?
Okay.
So it was me, Kevin Lyles, and Wayne Mallory, and we had progressed on to have management out of Philadelphia. And when we got the management out of Philadelphia, we were shopping around demos and that kind of a thing. So we didn't get a bite. So we decided we wanted to do our own label. When we did that label, we kind of, and I mean, this is back in the time when, like Money Talks and it talk about a whole nother period, right? When Geoffrey C and Sir Charles Dixon were on PGC,
Oh yeah.
right? They were doing a whole nother thing because what they were doing was they would on a pop level, and because PGC had such a powerful had such a powerful kind of like a signal, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Geoffrey and Charles broke on the radio all of those records that were kind of like half house, half hip hop kind of records.
Okay.
So Doug Lazy,
Yeah.
all the Ray's records, all of the the CNC Music Factory records.
KY, Stomp.
Yeah, good God Almighty. Right. Those guys, they were breaking all of those records, but mainstream. So when we decided to do It Good, we knew we had to have a house version of it. And then here come these 3 dudes out of Baltimore
Right.
who were doing house and doing it in a major way. So after we had heard, what y'all were doing with Ultra, we were like, okay, well, let's get them to do the remix. And there you go. So that's how Philadelphia happened. So we called y'all and y'all came up and did it.
Yeah, it's a banger record. If you can find it, it's probably be $100 on eBay or something because it was on a small label. So if you
Maybe.
it's worth something. I mean, Get the Hole is worth $50 now. If you go look on eBay, it's $50 a copy.
That's all?
That's my check a couple years ago.
How about the test pressing?
I was the
Y'all
pink
gave me a test pressing
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
original.
the pink label I've seen on
What pink label are y'all talking?
There was a
it was a
pink
pink label.
Yeah, I changed the color so I could tell which one was which.
Yeah, the pink
So I
label
never
was
saw that.
yeah,
You
that's
never saw
going
the
for like
Columbia one with the label
75.
peeling off of it?
It wasn't pink. I have
That's a white one,
version.
right? I kept changing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the pink label, and I checked this like maybe 5 years ago, one for either $75 or $125.
There you go. And
Wow.
it's worth that much.
Good.
You don't have to clean it up because it already sounded like it was dirty when we made it. So, so wait a minute. So in comes Geoffrey, but right before that, Geoffrey, tell them how you came in with Basement Boys and Alternate Take.
We did. You guys had It's Over Now, Alternate. And I remember doing the edits on that record on my Tascam tape recorders in the basement of my house. You and Mandrill came over and we all did the session. We all said, do this and do that. And I did all the edits. And based on your direction. And can you hear me?
You just got to get a little closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Actually,
How about
you want to
this?
be talking straight into it. So
Yeah,
you leaning
maybe.
in it. That's the
Oh, yeah?
top of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah?
if so
There you go. Right, let it go right
How
there.
about this?
There
Yes,
you sound
better.
good.
uh-huh.
I don't know these microphones, but yeah,
This guy does video.
I don't know these microphones.
Now you sound like Barry White. Yeah.
But anyway, we did all the edits. You and Mandrill came over. We had like a 12-hour session
Yeah.
in the house
Yeah.
and did those edits on those Tascams, which I still have, by the way.
I
Which
believe
I
it.
still
I
have.
believe it. I
Oh
believe
yeah. And that's how it came about. That's how I came on board.
Yeah. This story is just interesting. I mean, it's odd. Did you hear? Because me and Jeff and Spen and as in the future weeks, you're going to see some other people that I'm going to bring in here. That's part of this long story. It's a global story now, but it's fun from Baltimore.
And we have a serious history. I met you in probably 81, 82.
Yeah.
I met Spen in probably, 83? Something like that.
Because y'all did EBB together,
We
right?
did EBB together.
Yeah. So I'm imagining 83. Yeah. That's about right.
83.
So for those of you
So we
that
have
don't
history.
know, EBB was James Brown's radio station, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was James
Right.
Brown.
James Brown.
And it was a local station here that, that if you got a chance to work in James Brown, y'all had a chance to do that, to work in his studio. Did y'all ever see him?
No.
No.
At the time,
Dorothy Brunson
had owned it at the time that we were there.
Okay, all right. So that story just kept going, and so then after Get the Hold, which was the first house record in Boca, the first one, and then I met Teddy and Jay, and that's how we did Ultra, and then that's how we got.
You didn't know Teddy before we did that record?
No, it's just we was the only one. I knew these guys. That was it. I knew Teddy was downtown, but he wasn't a producer.
Right.
He was a DJ.
Right.
And he was downtown music director.
Right.
So I left the Metro because I wanted to be a buyer. And then one day Jade said, "Hey, you want to make it? I got equipment." And he would just keep buying new equipment to keep doing stuff. So then one day Ultra came in, Music Liberated, and she sang Angel Wimbush, Angel. She sang Angel in the store. And just to prove she could sing, because me, Spen, I still do it this day. If you're a singer, you come up to me and say, I'm a singer. I'm going to say, sing now. Because to me, if you can't sing for one, you ain't going to be able to sing for many. She stopped the people in the store, sang Angel. So I knew her from Fantasy. She was always one of the Fantasy girls up on the speakers shaking.
Yeah.
She
That's
kill
where I
me
met
for
her.
telling that. She gonna kill me.
I met her in Fantasy, so. And I had no business in there.
Yeah. And so this story keeps going. So let me move forward. So now me and Spen stayed in contact all these years. And then Co-Red. Go ahead, Spen.
Let's see. COVID started 03, 04, something like that.
You go with dates.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's around in there. My time at Basin Boys has expired. Charisma, yours, and
Maurice.
Maurice.
So anyway, long and short of it is, we decided that, well, not really me. I decided I wanted to kind of keep going, and Gary Dean had a studio that I wasn't really keen on trying to work in, to be fair with you. Only because he was already working with some other guys, and I was just like, okay, well, you're working with them, like, how's that supposed to work out? Long and short of it, he calls me back and says, look, come on and do it, give it a try. You don't like it, okay, whatever. So I said, all right. So that started in 03. We did The Best I Can, I think was the first record that we did, and we followed behind that with Holy Ghost. We did a couple of bootleg things, and then it was Gabrielle's.
Yeah. Because there's backstory to all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I had left Metro when Basin Boys went full time, and so I did something that a lot of producers don't do nowadays, and Spen did it too. You have to say, I can't work and be in the studio.
Right.
So I became a full-time producer and left the record stores. But I was going back and forth, and I worked with Technique in his store with Dookie Man. Right. And they was doing little stuff, and that's how Gabrielle, I said, what is that? And I said, listen to this. And and this record.
And we went and we took it, and that was our kind of footing to get in the door with Defected. And then The Way You Love Me happened, and that launched the whole Mark Evans thing, and solidified what we were doing on our first label.
And Motherfuckers came out of that. So this story, eventually, I'm gonna leave the trial and tribulation, because everything is a trial and tribulation. But eventually, the relationship with Co-Red was strained.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was like, yo, whatever you do, young one. He's like, well, I want to do another label. I was like, yo, I'm with you because I was A&R. No, I wasn't A&R. I was with Co-Red.
Technically,
Yeah,
you kind of were.
yeah. And he said, I'm gonna do
A&R,
another
artist,
label.
associate producer kind of thing. So it was quite a bit.
That was the first time I did a solo thing. Was Night Train.
It was.
Right.
Yes.
So when he came up with Quanta, I was like, let's do it. And we're praying brothers. So it's just like, you know what, if it's supposed to happen, we're only gonna do it in a godly way. And we had learned some of the trials and tribulations in the music business, and how people had bad experiences, and how people would easily accuse us of it because everybody in the business did these bad deals and didn't pay and stuff.
Right.
Damn it. It's still fine. And I'm like, cool. Because he said, you know what? I'm going to make sure these artists get it. I'm going to make sure that everything is fair, everything is done in a godly way. And to this day, that's how Quantize is. Like, we ain't never tried to take somebody. Yes.
It's in your hand.
I just wanted to ask a question since you're on the in a godly way and the gospel and things of that sort. As we all know, this past Sunday was the third year anniversary of the Praise Party? 4th year? Oh, 5 years? My fault. I should know that, right? Because anyway, so being the 5th year, especially by starting in the pandemic, and there was a lot of people out there in a bad way. What actually made you come up with the Praise Party, and how many people have you met that the Praise Party actually got them through, like COVID and being isolated and things of that sort? Just not just here in the States, but worldwide.
Well, first of all, I can't take credit for starting it. That was Kelly's thing. We were on the way home from LA, and LA had just shut down. We had done this private party for a guy and all of that. So it was literally the Monday that everything was shutting. And I'm on a plane, and my usual position on the plane is sleep. And she woke me up out of my sleep and said, "You're going to be DJing on the radio online." I said, "What?" She's like, "You're going to be DJing online, and you're going to do something, and we're going to call it the Praise Party, and we're going to do something." Except there was another thing, like the quantized quarantine sessions.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to DJ online. I said, "Yeah, okay." So the next couple of days was, and if you know Kelly, she's relentless. So the next couple of days, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to run iPads, and iPhones, and this whole thing. Didn't know anything about Twitch at the time. I was just trying to do Facebook and stuff. So how did I know I was going to do it? I didn't know. And it's kind of like, it's the story of my life. Like, I don't know. The whole thing with, going to the radio station, taking my tape to Randy Dennis. He's like, "Oh, who are you, young man? You think you got something here?" He took my cassette tape, and I thought that was it. Next day I come home with my regular agenda. I'm sitting down, getting ready to listen to the new tunes and stuff. And literally I turn on the radio and it's my mix playing. So it's
Crazy feeling.
Yeah, it's been similar, like almost every single turn, So it's not like I really even planned a lot. I just kind of know that I like something and sort of move towards it, I guess. So the same thing with the Praise Party is all I'm saying. It's just one of those situations where she came up with the idea. I'm like,
So you introduced these people, right? Tell them how they can get to this Praise Party.
Praise Party is every Sunday from 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. You can catch it on Twitch. Twitch is right now our primary focus, but I'm thinking we may shift that over to YouTube just to take advantage of the possibilities of gaining a bigger audience.
And also getting paid.
Well,
Get those checks.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch pays all right. I'm not going to front on it, but I mean, the idea really was that it was never a thing about us doing it for financial whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then to answer the second part of your question, it is literally amazing to me, like how I can get off of a plane almost anywhere. I mean, I'm going to Tbilisi, Georgia. Like, who's heard of Tbilisi, Georgia? Yes, not in Georgia, the city or the state. It's in Georgia, the country. And for anybody over there who they don't even speak English really.
What?
And they listen to the praise party. So you have Japanese people that listen to the praise party. You have Australians that listen to the praise party. We have Indonesians that listen to the praise party. It's crazy, but a lot of people, I mean, just at the Southport Weekender, when I think that the kind of novelties kind of worn off maybe. Backstage, and I just ran up to this young lady and her significant other. She just grabs me and just says, "Thank you so much because of the praise party, this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, okay. So it is,
what are you doing?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have what, about 13,000, 14,000 followers now?
Yeah.
Last I checked.
That's
I don't
very
even know,
sad.
man.
Greg,
Huge amount of followers.
He know.
His name is Geoffrey.
That's it, playing music and saving souls.
right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I share this a lot. I just shared it the other day for another interview. I just said, hey, every move, people say, how do y'all do this? I said, I can't take no credit for it. Every move was just when God doing stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how did y'all get Crystal Waters? How'd y'all do that? How did y'all be on 3 major labels at once? It's like, we didn't plan it. It was planned for someone much higher. So when he said he wanted to do a label and he wanted to make it God's label, I'm like, I'm with it. I'm so with it because we've been highly blessed through the whole thing. I mean, we know a lot of other people that didn't have the success, at all. To him, I mean, we just saw a movie with Millie Vanilli telling the story of them.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good movie too. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Like, what? Really?
I still have to see it.
4 guys from Baltimore, and Kevin Lau is like the biggest guy that's out there doing stuff.
He's huge.
Yeah, they was them. The guys was in the record store saying, "Listen to this record, or I'll get the hoe."
I have another question. Wait, hold on. Sorry, that's Shahid.
Oh,
Sorry.
not me.
That's my phone. I just didn't.
Oh. Yeah. I was going to say he got me. Okay, so this is So I'm gonna say this question, and I'm gonna
Why you sound so far away?
Oh, because I turned it down a little bit so I can answer the phone. So I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna go downstairs. Okay. Being an entrepreneur, both of you guys, it is really, really hard because I'm one myself, and activist and all that other type stuff. So being an entrepreneur, it is really hard to get to year 1, year 2, and year 3. How did you guys get to the teenage years? That's just amazing. I know that God set you guys up, and that's another thing. How did you pick the people to work with you? Because it seems like all of us are believers. But anyway, saying this though, it is so hard to actually grow a business and keep a business and then have it centered on faith, and continue to succeed, to be like, you go around the world and you can say quantize, unquantized, or Q3, and everybody act like you're a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Because even me, it's like, oh my God, you do this. And I'm like, so by me being connected to you guys, it's kind of like, it also elevated me to a level. So how did that, how does it feel? And also, how does it feel in general? And how did you map that out?
Well, people only see the glory part. They don't see the stuff that don't work. So it's not like it's all like, yeah. You have to learn stuff along the way. So long, you learn who you can work with and who don't want to work with you or whatever. You just learn it the hard way. You get hurt feelings, you get kind of stuff. You listen to horror stories that happen to people. You almost have to be a psychologist at the same time to deal with creatives, because creatives are just weird.
Real fickle.
Weird. And then you got to teach people the business. So, right now, Quantize is his own. We distributed in England, you know what I mean? And we got his own publishing, and it's a whole bunch of, and through the whole time I have to keep asking him, like, wait a minute. So explain it to me. It still has to be refreshed over and over and over and over and over and over, because it's complicated. But then, because I can't explain it to the other people that call me and say, Tom, I look at my invoice and right here it says this. I'm like, give me 5 minutes, give me a minute. Because we've done it so long that, and we have a company that handles it. If they ask me a complicated question and it's a company question by M&S overseas,
right,
I have to give them the correct answer. Because we pride ourselves on being able to be personal.
Right.
With everyone, to come in and say, hey, you know what, here's the problem, here's the question, this is a mistake. That's not a mistake, So we did that over and over, constantly and over. And now that it's huge, right now we have 3 albums in the top 10. It was 4.
Congratulations.
We don't know how. It's just, we have, it's got as much to be said because we surrendered the label to God. So, it seems like that move alone guaranteed us. It's guaranteed. Keep it pure. Now, I don't know, Spen, you would.
I got nothing to say after all that. You're exactly right. It's just. There was one point, right, when I was about to quit. Because and it was during that kind of, I don't know, it was like a weird period, like a 2010, right after the housing crisis and all of that, stuff was like rough. And, things go shifting and moving in the music industry as it goes. And at one point I had stopped, and I remember that, because I hadn't been working for a minute, I was driving Uber I did it for about 3 months or something before things kind of turned around. But, there were several times that's kind of happened. But every time that I tried, it just didn't work. So this last time, in 2011 or 12 or whatever it was. No, maybe it wasn't 12. Maybe it was more like 14. Because Quantize was still rolling. Okay. Or had just gotten to be rolling. So anyway, I'm calling around to all of the radio stations because I have this radio station, radio background. Mm-hmm. And what I was trying to do was to, pick up little odd jobs. I knew that I was getting good at engineering and that kind of a thing. And I was like, well, hey, maybe I can do some production work. So I'm calling around to a couple of guys that I know. The one, and this reminds me, I need to call him and check on him. But the one guy, right, that I called that made the difference, who actually was the first person to give me an internship out of college, was Harold Pompey.
Wow.
Legendary.
Right. So I called Harold. I said, Harold, I need some work, man. Like, this whole thing with the international thing is kind of in a weird space. It's whatever. He says, man, I ain't got nothing for you. Well, no, he didn't say it like that. Anybody who knows Harold Pompey is like, man, I don't have nothing for you. I don't have nothing for you. But seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. He said it once, right? I said, yeah, man, but I understand that. I get it. But, and the conversation went, he said it again. But seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. Yeah. Twice. Third time he said it, I was like, all right. Say what you got to say. He's like, man, look, you're going to be all right. Production, just like everything else, is in flux.
Yeah.
Talk to God about it. said, okay.
Wow.
And I did that, and of course, things come back around. But being an entrepreneur and not expecting that you're not going to have some hard times, you may as well go and work for Social Security.
That's not better. No, you wrong. You are so wrong for that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I worked for Social Security. Well, I used to, anyway.
No, but what I'm saying is that, look, God has placed in everybody a desire from birth. What it is that,
A purpose.
yeah, He placed that in you, right? So the things that you love to do, the things that you are good at, a lot of times those things came from something that was planted in you before you were even put on this planet. I mean, man, I literally have a picture, and it boggles my family's minds. I'm a kid. I can't even walk, right?
Mm.
I got tops, like pot tops, and the old ones used to have kind of like pointed, almost like pointed tops. I literally am on the kitchen floor with one top, two tops, three. I'm spinning them. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm spinning them, and my brothers and them, they have this picture, and I think one day I'm gonna try to make it an album cover. But they have this picture of me doing this as a baby, can't even be 1 year old.
Wow, that'd be a great album cover.
Yeah. So I'm saying it's there. The question is, what is it? And if God has ordained you to do this, you ain't gonna fail. You can try and do all kinds of stuff. Shit, I have a English degree with a mass comm minor, right? And I don't sound like I have an English degree because I'm sitting here talking about them Negroes with you. But anyway,
I have a degree in Ebonics.
Anyway, like I said, it's there. It's really just a question of whether you're going to take time to talk to God about it to tap into it,
Right.
And then be okay with,
Yeah.
you're gonna have successful times, you're gonna have bad times. You're gonna be like the Apostle Paul. You're gonna have good, you're gonna have bad, you're gonna have indifferent, you're gonna be beat up, you're gonna come out with scars and bruises.
Oh yeah.
But you're gonna come out for the better every time.
Yeah. One of the first things after I broke up with Basin Boys, I was in a lot of pain. So he just like, just you all right, I got you. And I was like, okay, it was just an ugly breakup, like any band's breakup.
Right.
So, and he was just saying that he started spewing that, and I'm always been a Christian, but I ain't never been a loud one. And so, from him, Spen, I call him Jim. I might tell y'all that story another time, but he was the important key to my pursuit of God. Because he showed me by talking about it. He would say, "Look, Tom, look what you have done." You know what I mean? Don't think about the falls or the trips or nothing like that. And I just said, okay. And ever since then, I've been a prayer warrior. I mean, walking through the street praying on homeless people, just gone.
That's right. Amen.
Because I notice I get blessings. You know what I mean? So, to me, part of the purpose is that. The music, of course, heals people. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised how many people. Jeff, I know you know that. Do people call you and say, thank you for playing that song? It don't have to be a gospel song. It just has to be a song.
Something that gets them through, something that makes a difference in their day. They could be coming in having a challenging day, a bad day.
So that's a great thing. You guys are sharing the overflow. So this is what they mean by sharing the overflow. A lot of people think it's money. A lot of people think it's other things.
Yeah.
But it could be anything. It can be anywhere. You can share the overflow. Even if you're just in the right place at the right time, you're sharing the overflow.
That's right.
Yeah, that's deep. So, you might say some stuff like, hey, what's been, we know Kevin Long, we know this, I know Tommy Otello, it's like, let's do this. And then he says, well, we'll wait for it. Because if you push something that's not on the agenda, that's not for you, it's not going to happen. And then, I mean, I was with Jose and he was with Diddy, and I was like, why did we never cross over? I'm glad we didn't, but I didn't know that then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that then. So you have to trust. You have to go on and say, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I keep my eyes on him and just keep going. And, you know, for those of you out here that wonder how successful, because we kind of stay around with positive people. I mean, in this room right here, I'm around all positive people. There ain't nobody big hit. Maybe Spen's hit. But it works. It works. I mean, Spen, you're my right hand, man. Whenever I'm in the dumps or something like this, I just call him up and we start praying about it and stuff like that. And, you know, you need that. You need someone that believes in you. You know what I mean? No matter what you're going through, you can call up and say, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, I don't know what to do. Like, you all right? You all right? You all right? I said, Spen, I want to do this. And he says, what? You going to put wings on? I was like, yeah, I want to do this. Wings. All he said,
no wings.
And shake his hands like, yo, but the girls like it. And, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you don't really need that. I said, but God told me to do it. And he's like, well, he told you to do it, then do it. And that was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. And this thing happened. And I learned from just having somebody. You know, it's important to who you around. You know, and if he didn't like it, he told me, like, I don't think, yo, but you gotta take your shirt off. Man. What's up? I was like, yo. But he watched it. But he was my, what is the word for it? He was my board, meaning I know that he loved me. He's not going to say anything that he's not trying to do. And that's important. And when you're going to quantize, be a loving label. We'll pray with people. We'll call somebody up and just say, hey, I heard you stabbed your toe last night. You know, like, Father God, we come together and pray. Right?
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That happened to me one time before. So, but hey, I walked into a wire hanger and then it was Anyway, but that's just me.
I don't want to hold you. Let's talk about quantize and some of the success advice. So right now we have 3. We have 3 labels.
Yeah. Quantize, unquantize, and Q.
Yeah, bird.
Okay. And so originally we only had 1 label. It was quantize. It was one quantize. And because I don't want to keep it longer, I'm an underground guy. So he always like, Tom, you always like this edgy kind of stuff. And you didn't want to put this on Quantize. I mean, on Quantize. I'm like, yeah, still, we got to do it. Because Baltimore's an edgy kind of town. You know, it really is. And he says, all right, okay, all right, we're going to do this with much persuasion now. He wasn't for it to do unquantized. And that's how unquantized came around. And then Q is a whole nother story. You want to tell the story?
Which is Mike Freak, who is... Jeez, I don't even know how to describe that dude. Jeez. But he's more of our, if Thommy is quirky, then I'm guessing he's more of our, what I'm going to call sort of a big room, more popular on a worldwide level house sound. Because of the type of style that he produces, which is nowhere even close to what we do in the grand scheme.
Right, perfect fit.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't understand, in the music business, you get pigeonholed for what you do, so you can't enter another genre because they won't see you in that. Well, Mike came along with already built in another genre. It's like, you know, so we already have a following on these labels for what they do. So Mike was like, let's do the label. So now Mike has a little bit more expanded big room. Is a good way to describe it. And he's been really good with it. So I think Mike's in his 2nd year. Right.
Yeah. No. Going on 3rd year now.
Wow. 3rd year. Well, so, you know, so all these things are important that, so let's talk one more thing. The growth of the Queen of House, Kelly. So you said how she did Praise Party. Talent Tuesday.
Talent Tuesday.
Same kind of a thing. She wanted to. Well, she was. I think she was always intrigued with like the people, asking questions. So she does a lot of the social media work, so she's very involved with what happens on that side of things. And I guess because she saw the amount of demos and that kind of thing that we were getting, she wanted to create a way where, we would be interactive with the audience. Not just the audience, but with the producers, so to speak. Then, and she just said, okay, we're going to do this thing called Talent Tuesday. And then, of course, now, just like with the praise party, I got to go around, try to figure out how, okay, I see what she wants to do. Now I got to figure out how to make it something that works. And it was haphazard, man. The first one had crazy. It was absolutely crazy, but we got through it. And it turned out to be a little bit of a hit with a lot of people.
Not a little bit, a major hit.
A lot of it.
And it's been coming to me like right now in the early beginning, and kind of still to this day, we kind of take on the brunt weight of it. You know what I mean? Because it's quantized. We started off just figuring out how to do everything. So Kelly is like, y'all not getting it right. You know what? You need to get these demos out here and get them on. And I'm like, Spen, I don't want to do no Talent Tuesday.
Right. So imagine that. I got a person on one side saying, yeah, we're going to do it. I got another person on the other side saying, I don't want to do it. I'm fighting myself like, it might be good, but it might not be good. I don't know. There were a lot of different reasons in my mind not to do it, but it turned out to be something that was very helpful to the community,
big time.
And because of the type of people, it actually helped me to figure out who we could trust, who we couldn't trust, who are our friends, who are our allies, who wanted to help out, who didn't want to help out. So a lot of people, who's shy to a point that they can't do it. Who is busy to a point where they can't do it. So it for the couple of years that we did it, it was a heck of a lot of ups and downs and turns and trying to, asking people and trying to decide
which way to go.
Going to do.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we had a show that was monthly at first, right? Monthly. 5 months.
Every week.
Every other week. It was
Right, it was every other week. So what we would do is have like the voice kind of situation. We would have everybody at different places, and like the Partridge Family, different cameras, and they would talk about songs. We would just say, make it or break it, like we're gonna play this song and what you think, and they would give their critique on it and say, I like it, I don't like it, and this kind of thing, and we got better and better with it, and like figuring out how to do it, because we definitely didn't want to do one or two things. We didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We only could apply it to us and say, hey, this doesn't work for us, that kind of thing. And then we started getting major names. I mean, just call out some of the names. Spen,
David Morales,
John Morales.
Man, we had At Jazz,
Monique Bingham,
Mr. V.
Yep. Mr. V.
Mike Dunn.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Terry Hunter.
Terry Hunter.
Yeah.
We had, and it was good
crazy
to realize we had a lot of friends, because in order to do that, this person had to make it fit in their day.
It was somebody, I forgot who it was. They were it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They were overseas when I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple
was.
of those. I think we had Seamus Haji from Defected. We had
that's the one that was 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so we had.
Oh,
I mean, it was the creme de la. We had Michael Weiss from Nervous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had some very heavy duty. Tony Humphreys, which was really good.
Yeah.
I saw that show.
I did too.
So
Yeah.
it took off, and we probably bring it back again on the. But we even got matter of fact we got through the pandemic doing it.
Yeah, that's how it started on the pandemic show.
I'm sorry. Just in case you guys hear an extra voice, that's actually Sahib Muhammad.
His name is Sahib Muhammad.
Sahib Muhammad. I'm sorry. Say hi to the people.
Hello, people.
Next, we're gonna get to you because actually this guy was the first person record on Unquantized.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one time at band camp.
So what they keep laughing about is that Unquantized is a Bandcamp page. So
How come I hadn't? How come you didn't send me this video? Y'all trying to do something covert?
No, you told us to run with it, man. You said just do it,
y'all
and we
doing
did
something
it.
Covert.
No. I sent it to Kelly, and then I sent it to Tommy.
No, you sent it to
I
me,
sent it
Kelly.
to you.
Then I sent it to Tommy. He couldn't open it, and then when they were over there, that's why they brought it with
So
them.
Kelly has it.
Yeah,
and you have it. Then you text me. I sent it to you. Like, look at this.
Yeah, you don't actually have the actual video, but you
Exactly.
have, but you have the
No, I
Facebook video. It's on Facebook. I never sent him the
I
actual
sent what
video.
you sent me, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Well,
And begged them to listen to it. Look at it. I'm gonna do it on a plane.
I'll
I'm gonna do it in
send
the
it.
airport. I'm gonna do it like you ain't never do it.
I'll send it tonight.
You're a very
send it
busy
tonight.
man. You're a very busy man, and
So-
we try to hold it down.
And you said,
no,
don't
so
be
that way you know it's secure.
asking me for nothing. Why y'all asking me for something? I said, you know what, Sahib? That's the last time I'm
That's
going to
what
say
asked
that.
That was it. So, and I mean, have you been to the page? Have you looked at it?
I don't even know what it looks like.
What you worried about the video for? Let's take the page first and make sure you're happy with that.
Because I need to make sure that it's decent before I send it to my wife and tell her to post it. So,
it's decent.
If it's some foolishness, I'm not going to deal with it.
We've gotten
Until it's certified
It came-
unfoolish.
You came,
Well,
I came from me. You know it's foolish. Like,
is my point.
No,
She's
but
making my point.
we're getting followers from it. People are coming because of that video.
Yeah.
We're getting
Y'all
more
in our
followers.
family,
It's getting-
y'all out there, y'all in
it's
a
getting
family
a lot of traction.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of traction.
But we're not going to go there.
You already did. The people have heard y'all.
Everybody knows now.
Check out the Unquantized Facebook page. Cause this one time at
Band
camp,
camp, we had a pillow fight, and we wasn't supposed to, and it was really cool.
Now, this is me speaking now. I got Spen in here, my road dog from Get the Whole Them Niggas. To Geoffrey C, the last 3 records he did on Unquantized blew every chart on there.
And even Spen sang on one of them. Yeah, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, Spen's on a lot of them.
Yeah, Spen does a lot of that. I was very impressed when I found out he does that.
Yeah, Sahib, the first record that broke was the No Set Beat on Unquantized. It's like, and Tracy, who does most of the graphics that y'all see on everywhere, on everything, is Tracy.
Shame on y'all for liking this at this one time. Shame on
Love it.
You gotta watch it, man.
you gotta watch it.
You don't like it?
It's
I
fantastic.
mean, I was trying to figure out, like, why is she showing me this stuff from
American
American
Pie.
Pie.
Why is she showing
It's
me?
band camp. People love it.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking about it, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, what just happened?
And if you hear all of a package in the background, that's them wrapping this whole presentation in a package to show you.
That's Tracy.
No, that's me.
You gonna get it now? You gonna
That's me eating crab. You belong.
Not even gonna mess with Geoffrey because I know Geoffrey has in his arsenal of videos and things that I just.
coming over to the house, bro.
All right. So let me tell you the reason why I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the reason why that came up. Someone mentioned Bandcamp. I think it was Ike. He was like, my stuff is on Bandcamp. And when he said Bandcamp, I started laughing. He was like, "What's so funny about?" I was just like, "Oh, because it's this one time in Bandcamp, and every time somebody says Bandcamp to me, I'm thinking this one time at Bandcamp." And when
Y'all gotta
Sahib,
know
when
stuff.
Sahib actually said something about
nobody
Bandcamp.
listening has any reference to
They
what
don't.
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
And
Okay,
they
okay.
you
they
have to
just
go to the
laughing to themselves.
Unquantized site.
Go to
So
Bandcamp.
yeah, go to
Unquantized.
Bandcamp.
Go to Unquantized.
Go to the even this one time. Go to Bandcamp.
Tracy,
So anyway,
I'm crazy.
Tracy,
That's why I'm like,
So-
this has no reference.
Tracy,
so
man, you know what she's talking about?
I did
Our
that.
listeners don't, so y'all
You
can let
know,
it go.
okay, so
Let
it's
it
American
go.
Pie. So
I find it so funny.
that's what kicked it off. So if you see American Pie, that movie, you'll get it. I'm
You just
saying.
asking to be hungry. You just gone too far.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Forget it.
Anyway, this you can go to Unquantized. Sahib manages the page. So Sahib, tell them where to go, how to do it, and maybe
It's
some of the stuff is out there.
on Bandcamp. Everyone that shops on Bandcamp is unquantized on Bandcamp. Unquantized recordings.
Can you
Excuse
stop
me.
saying on Bandcamp so that she don't pass out in here from laughing?
On Bandcamp. And this one time at Bandcamp,
She's literally passing.
I love
I'm
that video.
what?
I love it. But it's on Unquantized recordings on
It sells records.
Bandcamp.
It's the whole word, right?
Yeah.
On
That's
Bandcamp?
UNQUANTIZE
Recordings.
recordings.
Okay, now, most of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that's on TrackSource is on Bandcamp. You can find it very easily. Just look on. Everything's lined up. We're still adding stuff every day, every day. I need more numbers from you, too.
I got it. Keep on sending.
No,
to
you didn't send them all to me.
I did so. Y'all check your email.
Okay. Anywho, just come and see us. Look on the Facebook page. It'll guide you. And it's the Bandcamp page. It's great.
There they go.
It's everything. It's beautiful. It's going to be the best page ever. And the whole marketing of Bandcamp.
Oh Lord.
Spen, thank you for coming in, man.
That's your clue now.
So it's maybe some weird person somewhere in the world don't know that this guy, this Spen, his name is like known around everything. For his mastering, for his sound, for his productions, for his DJ skills. Because he's a nice guy, he don't have no shade. You can walk up to him and he won't.
Very approachable.
He's real approachable.
Very approachable,
and
man.
He sets the tone for everybody else in the organization.
Yeah.
Because you can walk up on us and stuff like that. But
He's a beautiful person, man.
in front of y'all.
Oh,
But to me, he'd be like, yo, why you do that, yo? That sounds horrible. Like, he just smashed me.
Just leave it like that. Leave it like that. It don't matter. Leave it like that. But it's got to be clean, Tommy.
Yeah, it's got to be clean. Right?
No, it doesn't.
So thank you, man. Thank you for coming in and stuff like this. It means a lot. It means a lot. And Jeff, we're gonna get into you because it's getting later and later. And and then Sahib, and I promise not to keep you, Spen. So
All right.
Thank you so much.
Peace, everybody.
Good to see you, man. Same to you, brother. Love you too.
You too, brother.
Love you too,
Yeah,
man.
So this is the Thommy Davis show, huh?
the beginnings of
This
it,
is what
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So far,
You're guessing.
You haven't seen the fire eaters and the men on stilts and the jugglers that come in the
yeah.
next show.
Okay, that's definitely my exit. Bye.
Yeah. You can go on Quantize, that's QUANTIZE recordings, and you can get the new albums, the new releases. You can go on Spotify, you can go on iTunes, you can go on, we're everywhere, we're a universal thing. That's everywhere you can go get them. And you can get our compilations. If suppose you want to work out, you can get a compilation. Sometimes we put long mixes so that you can work them out.
If I can say one thing,
Hey, sir.
if I can say one thing, I have to say that both you and Spen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, it's me. I'm trying
Okay.
to get the right adjustment.
Okay. What I can say is you and Spen are two of the best people to work with. You guys accept me and all of my crazy stuff that I come up with.
That's a lot.
And yeah, that's a whole lot. And thank you for holding me back sometimes, because there's a couple times Spen had to say, nope. You know, especially with this I think it was
I can't breathe.
yeah, I can't breathe. Yeah. I had produced something extremely racy. And then he told me to pull it back. And when he told me to go ahead and let it go, just like Baltimore City, I tagged everybody in the world. Don Lemon, every civil rights activist I tagged because I'm like, they really needed to hear this song.
She's like a pit bull.
Yeah. When I go in, I go in. But that made the numbers go up, and also that made a lot of people aware. So I'd like to thank y'all for letting
so
me be
much.
in me.
I mean, Tracy's my right hand dog. Tracy. I'm wearing her designs, her shirts, and I'm jumping on stage. If somebody run up on stage, guess who tackled them? Tracy.
Cause y'all ain't see these bombs. Y'all ain't see these bombs.
So Jeff, yeah, man, I appreciate you surprise visiting here.
Oh man,
it wasn't planned. He just showed up.
Well, I had to crash this party, man.
This guy's an intricate guy. This guy is not only an athlete, he's also an avid movie and film buff. And he also is a producer, and he also has a daytime job. And he crazy too. So crazy works.
And he's got movies.
Yes,
He has a real movie projector.
Yeah.
and he tours the country
Yes,
doing
doing
movies.
movies.
Yeah,
And that was another thing that he and I had in common. Not that I have a movie projector, but I know those old movies. I've sat in his house and we watched them and played them.
So Jeff, I know some of your
Make that happen,
accomplishments,
yeah.
man. I mean, but you're such a humble guy. You got more awards than probably I have, and you just don't say nothing. You just don't walk around shining them up in front of people.
No. Those awards are not who I am as a person. I've accomplished it, but I don't base my whole self being, my whole existence on awards. I mean, I'm blessed to have them. Thank you, God, for the accomplishment and to be able to share my gift and my love and my passion of music and movies with people.
All right, so I've got this thing I do. You know what I mean? When just to do it, say, name your favorite record that you did.
Name my favorite record that
One of your favorites. How about that? It's easier to do. Just name one of your favorites.
I would probably have to say This Is Hot.
Really? This is hot.
I would have to say This Is Hot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is hot.
This is one of the records that it actually started out as a bootleg.
Yeah.
And then when you guys wanted it, I had to go right back in the studio and take all of that stuff out.
Yep.
Take all those samples out. Replay the piano parts.
Yep. Wow. That's skills, bro. That's skills.
Replay the piano, everything, reprogram everything, and that part where it goes, get up.
Yeah.
I took that voice out. I got on the microphone. I said, get up.
Okay.
Yo, that's talent. The record he's talking about, if you're not into the dance music scene, this record is still being played everywhere. All genres from wedding receptions to no matter what. And for a producer, that is really an accomplishment that your music cross everything, young, old, white, black.
Man, that's great. It's beyond my wildest dreams.
And I want my money, nigga.
Hey. I say, I gave Tony and Guido a pizza, so they're not coming after me.
It's a funny joke. I keep saying, Tony and Guido.
They're downstairs.
Oh my goodness.
But go ahead, John.
But the thing about it is that this whole pattern is what I usually do to carve my niche, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I always take whatever and remix it. Because think about it. You have a whole lineup of like banging DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Banging DJs. Sahib Muhammad being one of them.
Thank you.
And by the time all the DJs have come on, have done their sets and played, they've played all the good stuff. And when I come on, there's nothing left to play. Everybody's always played all the good stuff. All the stuff. What am I going to play? Oh, I know what I'm going to play. I started doing Geoffrey C exclusives.
Yep. And that's all.
That's almost all I do.
And that's how I got the records. I came up behind you and took them.
Right.
Give me that.
Tommy's like, I want that. Like, oh man, I gotta go back into the studio and redo it.
No, I want it. Now I want the original.
In its rawest form.
Yep.
In its rawest form.
Speaking of you coming after DJs and also remixing your own things, I heard that you have something going on this Friday.
Yes, I am going to be at 18th Street Lounge this Friday.
All right.
10 o'clock p.m. to 2 a.m. So those are some old hours from back in the day.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, because you have a lot of people listening that isn't from the Baltimore or the DC area. Do you know, is it in DC? Is it in Baltimore? Do you know what the address is? Just in case people want to come from out of town and listen to you play.
18th Street Lounge is on.
It's not on 18th anymore.
It's not on 18th.
They moved it.
They moved it. They moved it. It's at the 18th Street Lounge is actually on 9th Street now.
Oh.
And it's on 1230 9th Street Northwest.
Okay. Northwest
in
DC?
Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yep. And 1230 9th Street. I know that because I looked it up today.
That was my
I didn't know
question.
where
How
it was.
did you remember that? That was my question.
I didn't know where it was. But it's going to be my first 4-hour set in a while.
Yeah.
Which means that those of you who have seen the crazy side of me, the 1 hour DJ side of me, now you get to see all sides of me. You get to see the warm up side. You get to see the side going into the peak hour. Then the peak hour, that's my crazy side.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the outside.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be it's a great set. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And
well, this is original 18 was with rest in peace Sam Burns was one associated with them.
Yeah, he was associated with them on
Stevie,
Sundays.
wasn't Thievery Corporation down with that place for a while?
Yes. The Thievery Corporation, yes.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah,
Very much so.
I did one of the last parties with Sam before you lost
Really?
him.
At
18th Street? Yeah.
Okay. Because he was the one that gave me
With the
my
flu. With the flu.
break. He gave me my break at, what was the place around the corner? Had the black doors, went downstairs. Mustafa
Is it Red?
Red.
Yeah.
Club Red.
Club Red.
Yeah.
Mustafa, rest in peace, was
at
the
the
doorman.
door. Yeah, it's at the door, man. Yep.
Yep.
Remember Mustafa?
Wow.
Yeah. Sam's a good guy.
Yeah, man.
So before we forget, Jeff, what's coming now? Right? What's out now? I could do it. I mean, what I know, but you got other stuff that I don't know.
Well, I know. Well, beats like this is
It's
still
the
out.
biggest record in the whole entire world.
He's been saying that for days.
I'm like,
Damon Ramsey said the same
Damon
thing.
Ramsey said that.
every time I look on the chart, it's like, every chart, beats like this, beats like this. It's number 10, it's number 5, it's number 6. I'm like, are they anybody playing anything else in the world like that?
No.
Let me tell you, when Louis Vega played it at Safari Lounge, it seemed like people were doing backflips. When they're like, beats like this, I'm like, wow. That's a great thing.
That was a wonderful thing. That was being grabbed. Oh, hey, what is that? I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You can't grab our arm here. I can't.
It's just a great feeling. It's just.
No, it was a good feeling, and it's a blessing to be with a team that could help make this thing happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have the best record in the world, but if you have the right team.
And you know what I realized? That's the team, because there's a lot of records coming out. And there's a lot of records that don't make the top 100. I told, I'm number 50. I want to shut up. You know how many records came out, didn't make it? I'm like, right, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
For those of y'all don't know what the big wigs over there talking about. On any given week, there might be every bit of 10,000 new records to come out. So when you put a record out, you got to compete against those 10,000. Right? And much less do a Geoffrey C and sit across every chart, every genre, house, Afro,
soulful,
top 10 front page. It was like a phenomenon. It was a phenomenon. And it couldn't happen to a more humbler guy, because anybody else would be. I couldn't talk to him no more. Like, oh my God, can you come down from that cloud so I can speak to you?
Could you return my call?
Right.
What do you mean it doesn't stink? You go to the bathroom like
So Jeff, yeah, I know what's coming. Tell them what you with out now and what's coming.
See, well, definitely beats like this is out.
Never gone away. It's never going away.
It's never going away. Conti did a remix on Conti.
Yeah. Hey, Conti, if you're listening. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming out.
That's energy.
Energy,
Right.
yes, energy.
Right.
No, it's funny. I said, "Oh wow!" When I first got the parts, I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to do it." And then every now and then you get a mental block. I'm like, "Oh man!" So I had a little mental block, and I got through it. I probably have about 2 or 3 versions of that song.
You always do that.
Yeah, I mean, because everything I come out with is not the first version. Believe me, the first version I come out with is terrible. It's like, okay,
To you.
oh yeah,
That's why I snatched stuff from you. You know what I mean? Because
oh no,
because as artists, as producers, as songwriters, of course we don't like the first version. We don't like the first version, but the first version is the magic. It may not be clean, it may not be perfect, but it got the edge.
In some cases, well, here's how I can tell what version works. The first version, oh, I like it. The second version, oh yeah, love it. That's how you know.
Yeah.
You get a closet response, you get a surface response, but when people really like it, it comes from the core, it comes from the gut, and you can tell when people really like.
You can, sure
stuff.
can. You sure can.
And so the first version of Conti, oh, I like it. Okay. I played it to a couple. I like it. But then the version I submitted to Montage, oh yeah, oh man, that thing is
Yeah. And before this, what was before this? Before Be Like This, what record?
See, before Beats Like
Is
This,
it Fall Down?
It was Fall Down with Tasha LaRae.
Yeah.
And it was also the Kopno did a remix.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
This Is Hot.
Yeah.
And before that was Joe Barnum.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what kicked things off.
All of them kicked off.
Something before your barn too, wasn't it? Didn't you do a remix?
I
Oh
did a
yeah,
remix
with
with
Biscuit.
With
No,
me.
No Set Beat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
Did they come
that.
out? Did we ever put it out?
No,
No, it never
no,
came
no,
out.
no, no, no. The one we did, the No Stress mix came out. But
Came
the
out.
one he did, he wanted to do another one by himself, and he did another one. And I just play it, and we love it, and people love it when we play it. But
It's not out.
no,
Y'all suck.
no, you suck because you're supposed to get your we send it to you, and you do nothing with it.
I might not have heard
You're
it.
getting like Spen now. Listen to it. Okay, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it.
what about the one? What about
Thank
the
you
one
so
you
much,
did?
Sahib. You can
I'm
go
sorry.
home. Let's go.
The one that you did with Biscuit that had the Run DMC beat
Wasn't
on.
that Night Train or no?
Yeah, it was
With the
Biop, but
yeah.
it was the Night Train beat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was the Night Train
Yeah.
beat. So I paid homage to Night Train and broke it down to a hip hop beat.
Yeah.
That was evil. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was evil.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I did that in total secret. I didn't tell anyone.
Nope.
And I did it purposely.
The collective mind.
For Collective
Collective
Mind.
Mind.
When I got that call to do Collective Mind, I said, okay,
I'm
this is
sorry.
my chance to come back, because I sort of took a
Hiatus.
hiatus.
Yeah.
And I said, well, when I have to come back, I have to come back.
That's when the first time I seen the new Geoffrey C. Not the opener Geoffrey C. No, the closer Geoffrey C. They was like, wow. I mean, he laid on the ground and kicked his feet in the air like Patty LaBelle was like, yo.
That's because he didn't take his
He didn't take his meds that day.
He said, it's so nice. I'm not going to take my medicine.
I'm not taking my medicine. And nobody has ever played hip hop at Collective Minds.
No.
They may ever do that, maybe. Charisma? Because Charisma is, to me, the guy that first started doing that. Like, you know what he did.
But he played
He played more
Billy.
deep.
It was Billy Squire Oh, he played Mobb Deep.
Yeah, the
Which
shook
one?
ones. The shook ones.
Yeah,
Collective
Yeah.
Minds?
yeah, I think so.
I think so. I think it was
Okay.
Mobb Deep at Collective Minds because he slowed the house song up, and then he brought in Mobb Deep in, and then sped Mobb Deep up, and then brought in the house song.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
the shook
Baltimore.
ones.
It's a
It was the
Baltimore
shook
thing.
ones. Yeah.
There's something in the water.
Yeah.
But that like the mind is all they talked about with Geoffrey C. This is the Geoffrey C.
Yeah.
Geoffrey C.
Yeah.
C. It's like y'all know this guy. Y'all underestimate him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they do. They tend to do that. You know, because you're quiet. You don't boast. You don't go around saying I'm the shit. You don't do you don't do none of that.
I don't do any. No, I don't do any. Because if you got to go around talking and boasting, then
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
then you're not really as good as you are. If you got to talk about it,
Yeah.
You know,
That's
don't talk
People
about
will
it.
talk
People-
about it. The people will
will
let
talk
you.
about
That's
it.
right. The people will talk.
You
Exactly.
know, let
the
the
work.
talent speak,
Yeah.
and the music speak for itself.
Well, we you know, we're in a new age where before the DJ was someone stand off in a booth somewhere high or something, you didn't get to meet the DJ. But since time is changing and our community is getting older,
Yeah.
it takes more personality. You know, more personality to do it. You can't be Larry the Van up in the booth and never know him in person. Now you can know Larry, like you're Larry, so we can know Larry. It's like, hey, Larry, what's going on? Ain't nothing much. It's like, hey, now that's the key thing. Before, DJs were kind of arrogant and kind of standoffish, and you couldn't even ask them what record. What's the name of that record?
Mhm.
Just look at you like, oh my face.
If you can get that close to him with the booth,
Right.
90 feet in the air.
Right. So now the DJ is more accessible. It's more
Most of them, yeah.
it's an intimate thing between the floor. Yeah, most, you know. Because, I mean, to be honest, most DJs and artists, we're really shy. We really are shy. We really learn to be extroverted for our craft, but that's not naturally. It's not naturally how they are. So
That's right. That's
they have to learn
That's true.
how to be more extroverted on command.
That is true. That is true. And when I play, I like to interact with my audience.
Do
As
you?
do.
I
As you
never
do.
knew that.
The listeners don't know.
Yeah, you connect.
I like to connect to my audience. I said, okay, that's it. I'm not taking my meds anymore. I'm connecting with you. I'm connecting with everyone in the audience.
Look, we're playing in Philly. I forget which one. So I'm playing with Jeff. Like, okay, all right, fine. I said, all right, Jeff. And so Jeff gets on, and I said, okay, he's doing it. He got control of the people. He's doing everything from Nights Over Egypt to his own stuff. He take him on a journey. He got to the journey where the record, he did a mix. The record kind of stopped, and he ran off into the woods. And everybody just stopped there looking like, what? And then he turned around and ran back like, oh, I forgot I was playing. And the beat dropped back on. And everybody go crazy like, what?
Again,
Yeah,
he didn't
that
take
was-
his meds.
That was happening.
Oh, that was a fun one.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a fun one. Yeah, I went right behind the tree. I mean, I saw the break coming. I said, okay, let me get on out of here.
So, Chris Moore,
Yeah.
it says, who you like to play with? Like, well, I can play with Jeff because nothing I could do. He don't worry about me. Like, yeah, I'll open for him, I'll close him, I don't care. Because he is on the same energy. You know what I mean? The same energy. And he did that. Like, I just looked at him and shook my head. Like, did you have to go pee or something? No, what was
Didn't have to go.
And everybody watching him. They go, psh. He just look at him and say, be right back. And go run into the woods. And come back right on it. Like right on
And
it.
when he got back on stage, the beat dropped.
The beat drop.
Yep.
Good show.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
And we got y'all know, if you look on Facebook, there's a big argument on like, these just play the music, and these people stuck. You know what I mean? They're just stuck the way one way. They don't want to see change at all. You know what I mean? They don't want to see the advance of it. Because if we keep doing it the same way we've been doing, we're gonna just disappear. Because house is on a leg. It's on a leg because they're getting so older.
Yeah.
Right.
So we had to do new things to attract the younger ones or the on the fence house heads. I mean, I like Follow Me and I like Playing the Days, but
Hate that.
but they easy. Once they got that, then we can get them with anything else. You like them records, you got more, but they got to give it a chance. So guess what? If they watching him or watching me, then they giving it a chance because they can't go outside and smoke with them. They're just like, I don't understand.
I want to see this.
I want to see
What's this guy
this.
gonna do next?
Right. So to me and probably for him also, it developed a new thing when people started putting cameras up.